Is, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, http://en.wikipedia.org. Is, also Is or Caris in Breton, is a mythical city built in the Douarnenez Bay in Brittany by Gradlon, king of Cornouailles, for his daughter Dahu. According to the legend, Is was built below sea level, protected from inundation by a dam. The only keys of the gate and the dam were held by Gradlon, but Satan made Dahu steal them and give them to him. He then opened the gate, and Is was flooded. In some versions of the story, Satan was sent by God to punish the city, whose inhabitants were becoming decadent. Other versions of the story tell that Dahu stole the keys either at her lover's request or in order to open the gates of the city to let her lover in. The only survivors were the king Gradlon, who was advised to abandon his daughter by Saint Guénolé and Saint Guénolé himself. Gradlon then founded Quimper on his death. A statue representing him on horseback looking in the direction of Is was erected on the Saint-Corentin Cathedral and still stands there. Breton said that Is was the most wonderful city in the world, and that Lutèce was renamed Paris after Is was destroyed, because Par Is in Breton means similar to Is. This deluge legend differs from others because the location of Is is well defined. The statue of Gradlon looks at it. Most of the localities mentioned exist. Several Roman roads actually lead into the sea and are meant to lead to Is, and this myth could in fact depict the engulfment of a real city during the 5th century. This history is also sometimes viewed as the victory of Christianity. Gradlon was converted by Saint Guénolé over Druidism. Dahu and most inhabitants of Is were worshippers of Celtic gods. However, a Breton folk tale asserts that Gradlon met, spoke with, and consoled the last Druid in Brittany, and oversaw his pagan burial, before building a chapel in his sacred grove. The legend of Is was confined to the folk of Brittany until 1839, when T. Ersard de la Vie Marquée published a collection of popular songs collected from oral tradition, the Barzaz Brez. The collection achieved a wide distribution and brought Breton folk culture into European awareness. One of the oldest of the collected songs was this tale. The medieval poet Marie de France also wrote poetry and stories based around the Is legend. 4 years after Luminet's painting scored a success at the Salon of 1884, on May 17, 1888, Édouard Lalot's opera Le Roi d'Is, based on this legend, premiered in Paris. In Claude Debussy's first book of preludes, published in 1910, the evocative La Cathédrale Engloutie recalls the drowned cathedral in the city of Is, with the muffled and watery sonority of its spectral bells. Poul Anderson and his wife Karen wrote a tetralogy of novels about Is in the 1980s. This sound file and all text in the article are licensed under the GNU Free Documentation License, available at www.gnu.org/copyleft/fdl.html.